Waka Waka. I don't know whether he's based here or not.
Zamina
No. That wasn't necessary.
This time for Africa, Zamina Mina. Join me, Waka Waka. Join me, guys. Zamina Mina Zankalewa. I'm holding the mic to you guys to finish.
All right, that was
somebody out there finished the line, and I respect you, and if you did, please comment in the podcast somewhere. Just comment that you finished.
Look what you're doing now. You're
please, I want to know that somebody listens to me out there. Please,
you just want to identify that someone identifies with your corniness. No, man.
Yes.
No.
What's up and welcome to episode 96 of the 30% podcast. You heard that correctly. We are 4 episodes away from 100 episodes, hosted by Afam and, drumroll please, my amazing, talented, diverse, opinionated sometimes, but extremely smart co-host, Sam.
I keep my opinions to myself most of the time. What's up?
What's up, everybody?
Hi, people.
Yes, hi, people. Welcome. But yo, guys, hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are doing all right. We are back to deliver to you this audio experience curated with love, tenderness and care. And yeah, we hope that you guys are doing well and that your lives are, thriving. Sam, what's up? What you been up to?
What have I been up to? Nothing. Nothing. I told you, man. You need to stop asking that question again. It's just, I don't want to make it seem like my life is boring. It's just work. At some point, as an adult, you just realize that most of your life is working. And just trying to make things happen.
Ends meet.
I mean, trying to make ends meet. It's doing. How am I? I'm doing my best to stay alive. That's how I am. How are you?
And that's the best that we could do, man. I'm doing fine. Still trying to find my way in this big old city of NYC.
Apple.
What have I done this week? Last Wednesday, I actually attended a webinar, a Zoom webinar it was focused on this producer called King Amadeus. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
You have?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, he's worked with like a lot of great people, and he was essentially just kind of telling us about his story. This is how he started making beats when he was a kid, how he got his first placement when he was like 18 or 17. I believe his first placement ever in his life was with Foxy Brown.
Wow.
And he told the whole story about how
1980.
how he like found his way into the studio, how he had like his beats burnt on a CD, he played it, and he couldn't really tell if Foxy Brown was like rocking with the rocking with the music, but like he got a call like a day afterwards, and she had recorded to 2 songs, and yeah, that's how he got his first placement. He talked about like the challenges behind getting paid for that music at the time, and how as a young producer, like they were offering to pay him $10,000 for those beats, and he was kind of telling us how the music industry has really changed, because you, as a new producer, there's no way anybody's gonna pay you that amount of money for your beats now. Like, so he told us a lot. He gave us a lot of game, honestly. Aside from Foxy Brown, he's worked with another Brown, Chris Brown. He's worked with. He made the song "Petty Wop" by Young M.A. So yeah, bro, he has a huge catalog of music. So yeah, man, that was a nice experience, nice webinar. I also went for a networking event for like music industry. I'm really trying to get more used to talking to people and stuff like that. Cause bro, you know me, I'm an introvert. So especially just talking to like random people, no agenda, like it's just like starting from scratch. So that was nice. Talked to a bunch of people, met a bunch of interesting individuals, trying to expand my network over here, and figure out my way in this music industry that is, Sam, let me tell you, the music industry is, we have to tell the people, it's dying. I don't know what's happening right now, but the music industry is in a horrible place, Sam.
It's done.
Do you follow some guy called Damiza on Instagram?
Yeah.
Bro,
Pretty cool insight.
I read a lot of reports, and I listen to a bunch of people. There's another girl I followed today. I forget her name, but she's a senior editor at Billboard. And she was just kind of explaining all these layoffs and why they're happening. Sam, there is no money in the music industry.
There's a whole bunch of CEOs that just started dropping off.
Step down. Yeah, the guy who is in, I think it's Sony Japan. There's obviously we talked about the layoffs that are happening in Warner, because obviously Elliot Grange and them are like restructuring. Bro, everyone is stepping down. It's crazy. There's no money in the music industry. They're laying off everyone. Like it's like, especially if your department was more creative, you're being laid off. I feel like the industry is trying to move more into the tech, AI, and that stuff, and it's gloom and doom right now. Just being honest. Sam, how does this make you feel as a young up and comer in the industry?
Well, I mean, hopefully, I aspire to work hard enough so that these conversations affect me. But right now, they don't affect me as much.
No, but they do actually. They do.
I mean, there's a trickle down that, of course, at some point I will get affected in a way, because we're all using, or we're all aspiring to use the same system. But it's really, you know what I want? I want to know what Cat Williams, what dream Cat Williams had in the beginning of the year.
Bro.
That he just opened a portal, and it's just a whole mess. Of course, I'm joking, but then it's crazy. What's happening? The big artists are fighting each other. There's people dropping. There's people who are being their careers major parts of the music world. And oh man,
Diddy is going down. Did he do it?
It looks like he did. He did. He might have done even more. Fam, this whole thing is just
and all the people implicated who were in the tapes and in the parties with Diddy, music industry,
all
executives.
Of them, every single one of them. Get rid of them.
All of them are going down.
Get rid of every single. Overhaul. Kendrick Lamar, he says, "Watch the party die." Let's everything.
Imagine if Kendrick Lamar was implicated.
Bro, I might shed a tear. I might, but I think he moves. I think he's one of the guys who I would put a little bit of money
Sam,
on saying he moves correct. But
no,
you can't
let me
trust
tell you
anyone.
something. We don't
No one
know
is safe.
any of these people. You don't know the most enlightened. You might find J. Cole was like. Anyway, we're talking mad right now, but like,
Yeah, let's not get in trouble.
Yeah, let's not put names. Sorry, I take that back. But you might find somebody who you
trust with
as,
all
like,
your life. Say, nah, this
morally-
guy is he's in
Yeah.
there. He's in those. Oh,
You
it's
never
crazy.
know.
No, it's really ridiculous, man. And hopefully, my hope is that when the system, when all the dust settles and the system has been beat to death, a better system and just more accountability and a better system for artists will rise up. I highly doubt it because capitalism, but a better system for artists will come from it. And then that can now trickle down to us in this part of the world that we're still trying to make things happen.
That's very optimistic. See,
that's me.
I'm
Mr. Optimism.
a little bit more pessimistic when it comes to these things. Diddy being ushered off the streets.
It's over for him.
And I use the word ushered very, very tactfully. Anyway,
Absolutely.
it's just gonna open the space for the next person who's gonna take the Diddy.
Imagine
spot.
how many people under the radar are just as bad and we don't know about it. And it's like in future years that we're
tons.
It's
Tons,
documentaries
and it's
that need
not
to
just
come
the
out.
music industry.
Oh man. Anyway,
But
listen,
I don't
prayers to
know.
everyone involved.
It's weird. I ultimately you can only just like try and be a good person in the industry, honestly, because it seems like almost all these guys are implicated in one thing or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. People do get carried away with, especially with entertainment. Being in the entertainment industry, because entertainment in itself is supposed to be, it's like a fun thing, right? It's parties, it's high energy, it's all the vices that come with it, and so it's very easy to get carried away with just
the lifestyle,
and the wave and clicks and the community of people around you. And if you're not thinking well, 2 years in, you realize, also, oh snap, I've done a couple of things that I might not have wanted to do.
Yeah, and also that mentality of trying to climb that ladder and doing whatever it is that, or whatever it takes to be at the top, which might involve you losing yourself in the process. I always thought, whenever people used to say, oh, he sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah.
I always thought about that and I was like, I don't really think about it as, what's the word? I don't think it's literal. It's not a literal thing. Like somebody actually went to the devil and said, yo.
And the devil is devil's like, all right, give me the soul.
It's not that. I think it's more about, I think it's more about compromising your values, and because you can get ahead, or somebody says, yo, if you do this, and it's not even always going to be like a sexual thing like Diddy or whatever. It could be like, yo,
it's fame,
if you
it's
screw
power,
over this person, or if you, you know what I mean? Like if an opportunity was to go to someone and you take it from them, you know what I mean? Like, or somebody gives you the opportunity to take it from them and make it your own and, screw that other person. I don't know. Like, it's just a lot of things that could make you kind of lose yourself in the process. Which, we didn't even plan on going this deep into that conversation.
So it's relevant though. And it's relevant so much so, and we're talking about this, but then it's like how we don't know what's been going on in our own industry because everything is under wraps.
Oh, let me tell you, Sam. Do you want me to say some names? No, I'm joking.
Yes, say the names. Get us all the way into trouble. Get us sued. No, so we don't know, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't think any, because it's the same entertainment industry, so I don't think any industry is immune from.
No.
In fact,
there's definitely shit going on.
I've had industries where it's like more religious and they're supposed to be holy and everything, and there's still stuff that goes down there. So, hey guys, artists,
Sam,
stay safe.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
Protect your life.
The gospel people be moving mad. Let me not even like within their own circles. Kwanzaa. Anyway, let's not speculate. Let's not make this
everyone
a
is moving. Everyone is moving mad. We need help.
Yeah.
We need some help. Is what we do.
Human beings.
We need help. We are broken, and we are just broken as a race. The animals are better off, in all honesty. But yeah. Anyway, listen. May the bad people be implicated and may they be done away with. And I hope that, again, I'm just optimistic that the industry finds a way to get this right. I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of finding a way to get things right, did you see the attempt by Foi Wambui and Oppo to kind of make amends with Mutoriah and his team?
We had talked about it, and you said that they should just reach out to him and try and sort things off air, and they did.
That's what I said.
They attempted,
but they didn't do it in the way that I was suggesting.
Yeah, no, they decided.
Take it away, Sam.
They decided.
Tell the people what they decided to do.
Oh man, they decided. I mean, it's not much. They decided to offer him a very, very, very nice settlement.
Handsome and generous amount.
Handsome, generous, really amounts that are unheard of in this kind of thing, right? A very handsome, generous amount of apparently, allegedly, reportedly 50,000 out of court settlement. Which Mutoriah promptly
50,000. Wow.
Kenya shillings, by the way, not dollars, not pounds sterling, not yen. It's shillings. And Mutoriah swiftly rejected it. And now it looks like allegedly he's going the court route, the suit route. Is escalated now. So yeah, that was not very smart. I don't know who advised that from Oppo and for his team. Whoever, that wasn't a very good decision to do that. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Why is it always 50,000? Sam?
We can't really don't know
into detail with that one, but it's always 50,000. I really don't know. That seems to be the figure.
I think 50 is just a safe number. I think it's big enough for someone to see. If you think that the artist, it's a perception. So sometimes maybe the people in charge, the people who are sort of in the wrong, or allegedly in the wrong, quote unquote, right? See that maybe all this person wants is just some pacification. Here is a little, so that you can just take it. 50K seems like a big enough number for someone who needs it to be like, oh, yo, fam, all right, I'm going to take this because I don't think I have enough power to fight for a higher amount, especially because court cases and things, legal things take a lot of money. Like it's pretty expensive. So I think that's why. That's why people choose that number, but the value of music to the commercial world, the corporate world, is a lot higher than that. So
Sam,
yeah.
What do you think about so I have to read this. So Oppo Kenya maintains that it never sought the services of Foi Wambui.
Throw her right under the bus.
Place. Right underneath the bus, man. Our client, I'm reading now, in quotes, our client notes that it had an agency agreement with Affluence, which was the advertiser, who later contracted the influencer, aka Foi. Further, any approvals regarding the posting and or actions related to your client's allegations do not stand against our client, as it was not privy to the terms between the advertiser and the influencer.
That's a lot of fluff. That's cap. That's cap.
Insane.
Listen, and this is what we have talked about.
Under the bus like that.
Yeah, this is what we have talked about. Yes, the responsibility is also on you. You can't just throw her under the bus like that. Why didn't you do due diligence? Do your due diligence and find out everything you're using. Make sure that it's over the table and it's legal. You can't now.
Do they want us to believe that they said, yo, agency, get us a few influencers, we want to push this product?
Yeah.
And then there was no like review and process, like, okay, some of these influencers want to use this music, this, that. Like, there wasn't any directive being like, no, you guys cannot use music because we're not paying for
Yeah.
licenses for music. Like, just find ways, creative ways to sell the product. Like, did they like where's the you know what I mean? The planning in advance.
Yeah.
Like, did they not assume some of the influencers might use some music? Did they not, like, are we supposed to believe?
And didn't someone
that they
once
just kind
the
of
once
put
the ads were
everything on
done?
the agency?
Yeah, and once the ads were done, didn't someone from their team like
A review process.
exactly? And what happened during that
Like,
process?
honestly, if it's me and I'm paying for a service, I want to see that service first before it goes live,
out,
right?
You all have trust in your team.
Like, I'm not just gonna be like, okay, I'll pay you guys 100 G's to do this, and then I just let you all just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I want to see what I'm paying for before it goes out.
It's crazy. This when
Sam,
what the corporates do, number one, is to absolve themselves of all responsibility. That's what I've noticed. The first thing they do is distance themselves far from whatever's happening and just act like the dumbest. Oh, we knew nothing. We were blind. We just woke up in the morning and it was at our front door. No, that's not how it works. At least that's not.
So how do you think it plays out from here? Because I think obviously Mutoriah is going to want to implicate both parties.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost 3 parties at this point.
Yeah.
With Foi, the agency, and Oppo, for maximum effect. Because I mean, all
maximum
of them are
effect
liable.
is right. Yeah. I mean, if he goes down that route and is serious about it, then he does that. It's going to be really hard, in my opinion. It's going to be really hard to argue against him, unless they find like some sort of loophole and everything like that. But
okay, Sam, sorry to interrupt you, but here's my question. So we've established that they used his music.
yeah,
And I don't know what duration it was up for, but so on their side, how did they quantify how much money was made
from
in the time
the use
ad
of the
was
music
up? Yeah. And then now, how do you quantify how much the artist deserves to receive in terms of damages, and also from what they generated from the ad itself?
That's a
If
big,
they generated any
that's a
income.
big question. And I won't lie, that's a question that's probably better answered by them and like probably a lawyer or something, because I know there's a lot of things that are in there that I'm not hip on. But I would think in this situation, since the deed has already been done, we are no more just trying to get the value, right?
Yeah.
Because what people will do now is okay, we're suing for damages now. Like, there's going to be extra days.
It's mostly going to be damages.
Yeah, you just start throwing emotional, what do they like throwing inside court cases? Emotional
and psychological turmoil. I have been unable to make music.
Mutoriah had some
for the
sleepless
past
nights.
year because I am
Exactly. Yeah, he's had some sleepless
traumatized
nights. So now,
this
so you have to
experience.
pay for those sleepless nights that he's had, thinking about this case.
For real.
But yeah, so I think at some point you have to. There's more. Now, once the deed is done, like now he has really as free range as much free range as he can have, because
because this case is unique in the sense that, like, it wasn't a nationwide ad by Foi. It was really just on her social media. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I don't know for a fact, but like, if it was just on her social media, it's hard. It's very hard because they wouldn't have paid for like a nationwide like ad drive that's on TV, on radios, on billboards, on this and that. So it's a bit harder to quantify how much money was spent, but maybe they can quantify by, okay, how much money was paid to the ad agency, and then conversely, how much money was paid to Foi from that, and then I don't know.
That's why it's just so much better to get everything done beforehand, man. Like, just have all the conversations, because now you're going back and first off you have to cut your losses because the ad was cut short, right? And then now you have to figure out it's just a lot of work. It's just unnecessary work too. Just it's much better to do things on the front. It's much better and it's
By
a lot
the book.
cheaper. A lot cheaper to do things by the book.
Yeah.
Over table.
100%.
Yeah, so I don't know. Listen, if again, all of this is just where we're really just commenting on what we're seeing. So
for real, yeah.
There's a lot more that's into it. Maybe there's things that are being reported that might not necessarily be part of it. We're just really looking and see. But then I do hope that art wins in this case. I hope art wins. I hope the artists
always on the side of art.
Always, most of the time. That the artist benefits from it and gets his just due, right?
For real, for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Most importantly,
we'll keep. I hope this case doesn't last like 10, 20 years. Court cases have a habit of lasting long.
I don't think it will.
No, Nini's was a while too.
I genuinely think it. Well, let's see what happens. I can't speculate, but hey, the most important thing: prayers to everybody involved.
Prayers to everyone, Oppo included.
Sam.
Yeah.
I wanted to shout out to Original Stinger for winning.
Oh yeah. The show ended. Gorilla Academy season 1.
I mean, the frustrating thing about our podcast is it comes out delayed, like
midweek.
It's delayed. So this time,
yeah.
So like by the time we recorded last week and released it, like the results came out like on the Monday or Tuesday or whatever. So now it sounds like old news, but we had already speculated that Stinger was going to win, which he did. So shout out to him. Shout out to Slinger for coming second.
Yeah,
and shout out to all the guys who were involved in production. Yeah.
Still a bit hurt about Michi the rapper, but...
Yo, Michi, bro!
It's cool.
She's so fire. She should have won.
She should come back season 2.
Or at least
come back season 2 and clinch and take it. Just
I think they're trying to do a season 2.
Yeah. Walk them. Do you think they do a season 2 immediately, or should they give it some time?
They should give it some time, in my opinion.
Why is that?
Bro, this is something that like has so much like rewatch value because it'll be a new batch of artists. Like they could take it so many different ways, you know? And then they might even move genres. It might not even just be about rappers anymore.
But Vince did. Say, okay, Vince was multi-genre though.
Huh?
I'm saying Vince was multi-genre. Like he in terms of the beats, it was quite vast. Or are you talking like a complete genre change from?
No, but Vince, he was multi-genre, but like you're not gonna send any of those beats to an R&B or or like a Kinoti / Ethan Music.
How would you freestyle R&B?
I don't know, but like, so that's the thing. So they'd have to modify the show in certain ways.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? So I feel like the opportunities are endless, but I think they shouldn't dilute it. So they should kind of keep it special. So I think doing it again, like instantly would kind of make it feel a little bit like, you know, fast food. So they should wait a few, maybe 6 months and then fine-tune the production and then go again and make it like they could make it a biannual or annual thing and bro, they could do it literally forever and people would be invested just the same.
Biannual sounds cool. It will also be good to give them time to work with Stinger so that everyone else can see, like all the other aspiring artists can see exactly what they said they were going to do and look, it's actually working for him. Now it's time for me to bring my A game. Let me get my pen ready and start writing.
I think it should be annual. I think in 6 months, it's a bit hard to gauge. So me personally, I think now they should deliver on their promise. They should go above and beyond to make Stinger look good out here, you know.
Yeah.
Produce that EP they're talking about. Give him like some really good like features.
Get him a couple of good deals, Yeah.
If they could finesse like a small brand deal type thing that lasts for a short amount of time, whatever it is they want to do. And yeah, so many people are going to see that and be like, yo, this thing is value. Then everybody will want to watch. And then ultimately, right, if everybody wants to watch it, then it's not going to just be on YouTube.
But you see, in the age of,
Probably going to be on TV.
Okay, yeah, they could probably like a Tusker Project Fame type thing. They could actually go that route. But the problem is in the age of content and social media, there's probably pressure to keep the people engaged, and so they would want to at least do it a lot more frequently, so that we can gain as much from audiences as we can. Because the risk is, if we take too long, maybe some of the people who we've pulled in terms of attention, maybe they'll be off it. and so
we won't be off it.
Well, you say you won't be off it. I'm pretty sure there's some people who will be like, all right, I've seen this now. My attention is elsewhere. Just because of how we treat things in the age of social media.
I see what you're saying, but for me, it's quality over quantity.
No, for sure. No, I'm on your side. I'm on your side in that case, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
But like it might... So you want to tell me in 2 years you have 4 whole seasons? I mean, I feel like it'll be too much. It'll lose its like specialness. It wouldn't be that special anymore. How long did the show run from when it started to when it ended?
Oh, time to do some
Was
Googles.
it like a month or was it 2 months? It was a month. I think it's been a month.
They've done how many? 4 episodes? And
yeah, it was an 4 episodes.
An episode every week.
Okay. So around about a month.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some research to see where the first episode was released. So Gorilla Academy episode 1 was released 1 month ago. Yeah, so it's a month.
Yeah. Okay, so it's round about.
It's also pretty short, like not many episodes. It's just 4 episodes. So maybe they increase the episodes later.
For now, I'm pretty sure season 2 will have more episodes.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably figure out how to deliver more content. They might segment the rounds into like maybe 2 episodes each or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might even go more hard in terms of like giving background info. You know how like in the, what do you call them? Like, not Tusker Project Fame. What's the one with Simon Cowell
Idols
and all those guys? Yeah, like American Idols, etc. Like they usually give like backstories,
sob stories. It's always sob stories too.
It's mostly sob stories, but like at least so you can get a little bit more context with who the artists are. Like I feel like if they had done that for like Mode Eulogy, how he told the story about how he comes from a remote place and it took him the whole day to get to the studio and stuff like that. Like it would be more of a show because now I feel really, really connected to Mode Eulogy.
Or Afam.
Even before.
Or you're playing into it. So the conspiracy theory is the reason they highlight in a lot of the artists on there have like sad stories is because the audience now gets an emotional hook.
Yeah.
So now you want to see that person
showbiz.
And that keeps your eyes and ears on their page for longer, which helps them sell ads.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what they need to do.
All
they need to get us invested.
But that's just a theory. I can neither confirm.
Yeah, but they need to get
that.
They need to get us invested.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they should fake the stories and stuff, but listen, I wouldn't put it past anyone to do something like that. But don't fake the stories. Keep them as genuine as possible. But yeah, give us more context to these people. That could now prolong the show so that it's not 4 episodes. It could be 8 at this point. Because if you...
I like the 4
if you just
though.
give us more context
like
into what they're doing, then...
I like that it's quick. Because if I like that it's quick with this current level of production, if they find ways to elevate it,
I agree.
Then I could
with
do
the
more
current
episodes.
level of production, yes, 4 episodes is fine.
But that's cool, man.
But they level it up.
Shout out to Stinger. Shout out to Kaka, Maria, and Vince, and the guests. Oh, guests! Yes, please. Let's see more guests next week. Let's see more guests not next week. Next season. Yeah, let's maybe like a
For
different guest every episode. That'd be super cool.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
They can pull from so much, and maybe have the guest even, bro. Let me into that production room. Have the guest maybe dictate the theme of the day. So if you have Butros, then it's like, okay, let's hop on like some really hard like beats. So that's what Vince makes, and they have to kind of emulate that. Ooh, today we have a different guest. We have Karun in the building, so let's do a little bit like a more vibey. I don't know. You could just have so much like versatility with this project.
Do you think they stick with the same producer, or they try and throw different flavors in there, and like maybe use a different producer?
They'll probably stick with Vince on the beat, most likely, unless like discussions fall apart with them. But I assume they'll stick with him. And yeah, I like Vince. He has a very different, like, because you see, King Kaka was more jokey. Maria was also jokey, but also had that empathetic, but
she grounded the whole thing. She was
grounded. Yeah. And Vince on the beat was chill, and also he understood them from an artistic standpoint. So he wasn't so harsh on them, So it's a good balance.
It was a decent balance. And then when you have a guest in there, it just throws in a wildcard personality that makes it interesting. So
for real.
It's dope, man. Hey,
anyway,
I like it.
Shout out to them. Yeah. Shout out to Gorilla Academy.
Very interesting. I was thinking about something this week. I was listening to another podcast. I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about good and bad music, and what I don't remember the context of the conversation, but they're talking about good music and bad music, and essentially quality and what quality is. But then it was being talked about in the context of Western music. So it got me really thinking. This might be quick thoughts, but then I just wanted to find out from you now. What do you think good music is? What makes music good? What makes music bad? And the different elements that play into it. Now, in terms of music broadly, and then we'll funnel it down to the Kenyan industry now. So, quick thoughts.
So, good music is Kanye West's.
Oh goodness!
Label.
Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud?
So proud of myself. When you don't understand, I had to hold myself back from making that joke. Anyway, so good music. What is good music? So that the answer to that is good music is subjective, but I think good music is very contextual. So what I think is good music might not be what you think is good music.
Yeah.
So for me, for example, I have to give myself as an example. When I started growing up, I got a PS2 and I played a lot of games, and a lot of the soundtracks to those games molded my taste in music. So growing up, I always like a lot of the sports games, SSX, FIFA, all that type of stuff. They always had a lot of indie Spider-Man rock 2. Music, alternative rock music and stuff. Yeah. So for me, my taste was molded by that. So even today, whenever I hear that, and then my favorite band ever is Paramore.
Yeah.
So even now, so for me, my taste comes from that, and it's all about context. Like if I grew up not playing those games or just consuming media in a different way, what I consider as good music today would be entirely different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me, I think context plays a huge role in what you think is good music, right? But I mean, good music has the few elements, and I feel like it's how we react to it. I think good music plays on emotions and also plays on nostalgia a lot.
Yeah.
How do you good music makes you feel elated. Actually, not elated, but it makes you feel emotions strongly. So it could make you feel very happy or very sad, and maybe that's the intended effect.
Yeah.
So I feel like good music is music that plays on the emotion that's intended by said music. And the kids nowadays listening to underground music, Ian or Netspend or Osama San, they listen to that shit and they're like, this is great music. For them, it elicits the emotions necessary that make them feel like it's good music. Other people listen to Afrobeats, and they will listen to all like Ashake and all the Afrobeats guys who are popping off right now, and just be like, yeah, this for me is great music because it makes me feel a certain way. So there's no real one answer to what good music is, because it's just extremely subjective, which is the difficult part about the music industry, because the labels are going to try and manufacture hits and manufacture what people will think is good music. So what is bad music? I feel like, okay, if we're looking at it like scientifically, bad music is music that doesn't fit the parameters that like fit the
Is there bad music if good music is subjective?
Yes, it's also subjective. But like if an artist is singing off key on a beat, that's objectively bad.
Okay.
Right?
So if that's objectively bad, then I'm putting it objectively, I'm putting the opposite of it in the good column of music. So someone singing, like the way you present the art could be something that contributes to the music being good. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
Okay.
Exactly. But like, yeah, if somebody is singing off key, or the drummer in a band is always
and not
off
in the
beat,
cool J Dilla way.
Yeah, and not in a cool like swing like J Dilla, then that's bad music off rip. But it's hard because somebody might like, ooh, that's what gives it swag. That's what makes me feel, it's different.
You know what I've been seeing recently? Online is there's been a lot of hate about artists.
Oh, please.
Artists who, like actual artists who, like there's this guy I saw who was, he takes, I think it's a marker or like a piece of like charcoal, and then goes and jumps. He's on the wall, right? So he goes and jumps. So he just makes an arc. The charcoal is on the wall, and all it is a line and then like a bump. Have you seen that?
I've seen that.
And the comments get me entertained. You see?
That's some trash.
But to you, that's terrible art. But there's someone who that has spoken to their mind and their soul has been touched by him.
I've seen art installations where they sellotape a banana.
Yeah. That was a whole thing.
Supposed to be art.
That was a whole thing. A rotting banana. And to someone that's
but it's
art.
all context.
It's context. So art is context.
It is. Because somebody might say, well, you don't get it. Like, there's a whole reason. So, like, 50 years from now, if somebody puts an art installation that's a banana sellotaped to something, right?
Yeah.
It'll be, oh, but you don't get it. I'm doing it because 50 years ago, there was this artist who did the same thing, and this is what they wanted it to mean. And therefore, me doing it is an homage to that. And there's a reason why that, you know what I mean? So some people, like, there's always reasons to everything if you want there to be. So it's all like, like when you get into this, it becomes very philosophical.
It is.
And it's very hard to answer.
Yeah, art then becomes less about the art itself, but then about intention.
How we wait, about
intention, the intention of whoever is doing the art.
Okay.
It becomes.
See, I was gonna say it becomes about the intention, yes, but also how it's consumed.
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of difficult because then you can't. Apart from like, I would say now, let me, and this would be a little bit of a I guess a pushback on what you say. I would say there's some objectivity. There's ways that we can tell what is good. And human beings do this, right? And not to get too philosophical, because we have award ceremonies. Of course, for the most part now, the award ceremonies are just political.
Okay.
It's political lobbying. But we have award ceremonies, and we have like groups that sort of gatekeep music, and they gatekeep art, and they gatekeep all these things. And so they use specific standards to gauge what they allow in and what they say no, right? And so as a society, we're almost a society of artists, and as artists, we're almost forced to adhere to those standards the majority, I would say, first to adhere to those standards if we want to belong into the art is good category and art is not. It's very nuanced, obviously, but I think that there would things like what you're saying, things like singing, the way you perform the music. Like if you go for a concert and you're just off, there's this whole thing that has recently happened with Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne being picked over. I mean, Kendrick Lamar being picked over Lil Wayne, and then there was a side by side comparison of Kendrick Lamar's concert, and then Lil Wayne's. And people were like, this is exactly why Lil Wayne wasn't picked for the Super Bowl, because he was like just going crazy. He was forgetting his words, rapping other things. He was jumping around, laughing, having a blast. And so there's things for sure that are tangible that you can tell, okay, this might not be good art. Singing well on a track might not be good art on its own, but it contributes to good art in general. Like the song being good. Yes. The beat.
Because...
Sorry, go on.
But you see, it's hard because like Charlie Puth, for example.
Yeah.
You know?
Shout out to him too. He just got married.
Oh, congratulations to him. I didn't even know. But he has what do you call it? The pitch perfectness. Like he can he can tell you
what note is what from you whistling it.
Exactly. He probably knows what note I talk at. My natural register is.
Afam talks at a C diminished. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just saying that like even Charlie Puth, like I've listened to a bunch of his songs, and even him having that ability to create something that musically is strong, like it's perfect musically, but I just don't like it. Still, he could sing on key. Everything could be in key,
but you're just not rocking with it.
Like everything
and because
could
you're not
working. Yeah, everything could be working harmoniously musically, but I just don't. I don't like it.
Doesn't speak to
either.
you.
So it's also, I think good music is just how do we consume it as well, like and how you consume something is heavily dictated by what context you're brought up in, you know?
Yeah.
Like we are open to us growing up in Kenya. Opens us up to so much because we listen to Kenyan music, we listen to Afrobeats, we listen to Amapiano. We're heavily Western influenced as well.
Yeah.
So we have such a broad base of like influences. Caribbean music does really well in Kenya as well. Like we have the Tarab stuff that happens like we're so exposed to a lot of sounds.
Yeah.
So we can find so many different things like interesting. But other people, if you grow up in Scandinavia, for example, and all that exists are like the heavy metal death bands and the deathcore stuff and maybe a little bit of EDM.
Yes.
You know, like it'll be hard for you to just all of a sudden like open yourself up to Tarab. You know, like for you it'll sound like very, very like, and you might, I'm not too into that.
Yeah.
And it's okay because that's just, you didn't grow up with that context. So
I get what you're saying.
It's hard to say.
I do. I get what you're saying. And it also, and I guess we don't have to go too deep into this next part, but then it also opens up the question of, all right, so if good music is subjective, how do we quantify and qualitate what quality is, and how do we and what do we do about critiquing art? Because critiquing art is a part of it.
Okay, how do we wait? What is your question? How do we quantify?
So no, that part we've sort of already covered. In just how do we figure out in terms of standards and gauge, and whose opinions do we use, since it's all subjective to different people.
So I think people are sheep. So that's what the labels have figured out. People are sheep. So you can manufacture good music, in quotes. That music doesn't need to be necessarily good. But what I've realized is how things are how things are packaged and how these ideas are put forth to the consumer base is essentially a really big part in determining what the masses what the masses will declare as good music.
Yeah.
Does it have a really good visual, good music video? Is the song trending with a very, very funny trend on TikTok, or just a very involving? Because, you know, a lot of these trends are not necessarily funny, but they are very engaging.
Yeah.
And that makes you think, ooh, this, you know, wow, 500,000 people find this content compelling, and it's paired with this song. Therefore, the song must be good. So it's all about the how do you present. So how to quantify it is, I guess, if there is high quality packaging with said music. But sometimes good music stands by itself. I forget his name, but there's this guy who used to play, I think he was from Hawaii or something, and he used to play the ukulele. He was a really big guy, and he made this one song that everybody loves. I don't know if you know his name, but like all it is his vocal and the ukulele, and everybody feels something so strong from that. So hey, listen, that has minimal packaging, but it really travels far. But you have other music, like there's this one artist who I always argue with, Foster. He's called Two Hollis, and musically I despise his music. It's just it scratches my brain in the wrong way. I like his beat selection, but I just don't like what he does on the beats. But the way he packages himself, like branding wise, the videos, the plus sign. People who listen to Hollis will know what I'm saying. Like the plus signs that he puts, the branding, the lighting, the videos, it's so involving. And because of that,
a look. He has a brand.
Yeah, and he has the look.
Yeah.
So because of that, a lot of these young kids will be like, this guy is so cool. And then everybody will be seeing that stuff, and they'll now associate that with this is good music, which in my opinion is not. But they'll be like, this is really good music. And then there's nothing you can tell anyone after that. They'll be like, yeah, you know, this is what I like. And you're an old head for thinking otherwise. And you know what? Fair play. But it's how things are packaged. So quantification, I mean, there's also numbers, looking at how well it does. But you see, all that
plays into what you just talked about.
Industry games. Yeah, but it's cheap things. It's cheap things, because if the industry players, they do the bundles and they make sure that your project has 350 to 500,000 plays first week,
then everyone else, exactly, the sheep will see, oh dang, this must be really good because it's getting so much play, so let me play into it.
Listen.
And then
and I've been said sheep. I've done that countless times where I see something is doing really well.
Why
and I'm like,
are you
why
sheep?
do people yeah, because I'm human. Like, you want to tell me you've never done that?
I have.
Or are all your musical like things that you listen to?
I'm just completely unique. Like, it's completely internal processing that has led to all my musical tastes, and I don't like anything popular. Drake? I've never heard a song. Yeah, no. I mean, it's the human beings live in community, so it's very difficult to escape that. Sheep, or whether you frame it as being sheep or not, we live in community and we tend to gravitate towards each other. So what my friend likes, what the person who I enjoy their company and their opinions, whatever they like, I would tend to like also sometimes, except if you're just a complete contrarian, then though you're a special guy. But oh man, art, man. Well, art is interesting.
Deep dive.
A little philosophy doesn't hurt. A little philosophy is good for the brain. So yeah, speaking of philosophy, which has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but music. I've got the Afam bug.
Welcome.
New music. Fridays are just my favorite days, bro. Like, I wake up in the morning so giddy.
There was almost too much music that came out.
There was a good number of people dropped this week, which was fun. Let's get into it. What do you want to start with, man? What do you want to start with?
I mean, we have to start with Big Z. Big Z dropped. On Your Head Tops.
For Your Head
Love
Tops.
Hate Part 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Sam, thanks. I really love the two songs I loved the most was the Fire and Hush.
Yeah.
Really delivered. I mean, yeah, Zinnia, and she proved that she can be versatile, especially with like her beat selection. And everything.
There's a whole bunch of Afrobeat on here, which was fun.
Exactly. And one thing I want to really commend them on was the artwork and just the
art direction.
Rollout.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I love it.
The dragon,
raising the standards, raising the game. There's so many artists who put out like some really trash artwork. This was not that. This was amazing. So shout out to Zinnia about it. But her team.
Yeah. Shout out to them. I enjoyed the album too. I liked, it's interesting because she has a very R&B sound, and she chose like songs like Asali, where the beat is produced by Cracker Mello, who is like I don't know what he's doing now. He was really huge in the Nigerian scene, and then he just became quiet. But it's a very traditional Afrobeat sound. It's not like the pop Afrobeat sound like an Ira Star or like what a Rema, even though Hush is more, I feel like Hush needs a Rema feature. But then Hush is more like that pop sound. But then Asali was very, very traditional Afrobeat, with like guitars and things are not necessarily, the snares are not hitting on the, they're not like quantized, they're very loose. I really enjoyed that. And then hearing her blend the R&B sound, which is more polished, with that, that's cool to see, man. I like the experimentation. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed my two favorite songs. Were track 10, track 11, which is Act a Fool. I just liked it. I like the attitude on that, and the beat also was pretty good to me. And then Still Lose, which features Hamza. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, Hamza brought the vocals on the feature, and then Zinnia wrapped it up.
For real. Second project I listened to was Vision 2020. By Valerie Mudoni. So congratulations on her for the release. I mean, overarchingly, what I'd say this project brought to the table was it was a very affirmation-based project. It was really about like speaking success into existence. I feel like it was kind of like Valerie almost like just reaching into herself and saying, like, I will be successful. This shit is gonna work out. I am good at this music thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really an affirmation thing. So I understand where that's coming from. Because sometimes you need to really like psych yourself up. And so for me, that's like the biggest thing that I felt listening to Vision 2020. The other thing I listened to was Just Landed by Andia Sande. I want to shout her out for releasing music because I know she's just starting to release music. So shout out to her. My favorite song on that was the one with Zoe Kengocha. Oh my God, Zoe Kengocha floated on that like... I don't even have the words. That was some phenomenal stuff Zoe did. But yeah, shout out to everyone who worked on that project and also collabed.
Let me.
And then.
So go ahead. Let me go before you continue. There's an album that I listened to. Now I've not really heard of this artist. It's called Masterpiece King. Okay. He hasn't crossed my radar for some example, but there's a lot of artists in this world, so I'm not shocked. But I listened to his project and it was pretty decent. Like there was a whole bunch of artists on there. He had Scam Cardinali, he had Waka on there, Lil Minor is on there. Jay Donga was on there a couple of times, Diana Cords, Abbas Kubaf, who we haven't heard from in a minute, I think. And it was pretty decent. I enjoyed the joint with I liked Kichwambaya. I liked the joint with Scam Cardinali. And a couple of others, Guza
Umbo is fire. That hook is so catchy.
Yeah.
The hook is so catchy.
It's really interesting, man. And just going back and seeing like what he's done, because once you put on, the thing about it is once you put me onto a new artist now, you've like you gain someone who's listening to your whole catalog, because I have to go back and see like the progression. I like looking at artist progressions. So that was interesting. That was out of the blue, but the project's called Escobar by Masterpiece King, and that's pretty decent. Flyer also dropped Charlie Wamta. Always here for a flyer drop. I enjoyed that. Sorry, Afam, I cut you off. And then you can go.
I was gonna say I listened to EA Open by Agent Mugumbe, Tie-Dye, and Mwami. Agent Mugumbe, as we all know, is Lucorito. And I love this sound, the lo-fi chords with the very like underground hip hop drums and everything. Really, really, I love those chords. It's just so, what's the word you could put? Like they're really calming, soothing, and really nice. And Tie-Dye's vocals, like as well, the rap, really nice. I felt like the music is really like inspired by. Did you ever listen to Reggie Snow?
No, I did not. It's news to me.
Okay, well, even listening to some of those songs, even the ones with Mwami on them, they really gave me heavy Reggie Snow vibes.
Yeah.
But shout out to them. Shout out to everyone who. Did you listen to the project?
Oh yes, I did. It was one of the first ones I went to. It was pretty interesting. I liked the song that was showcased, and then when I saw it was a project, I went into it. That was that's cool. It's again, it's more underground. It's like an underground sound, but then I don't think that makes it any less important to the whole scene as well. People tend to make people tend to make the underground music like lesser than what's happening in the pop scene, which is just silly. I think everything works for the industry. Yeah.
So I'll just go on a few. So the other songs I listened to, Guido by Ndovuku, Furthermore, Jofes, Ska, Tao. So Guido is just doggy backwards. I actually liked it. A few lines in there were a bit, but for the most part, I liked Furthermore's hook very, very much. Furthermore is also on Tipsy by Jofes, Furthermore, X-Ray. I feel like that was a part of a project. I didn't listen to that project, I'm not gonna lie. Then another song I listened to was I just have to give them their props. Kendo by 11 and Winyo.
Yeah.
So Winyo is Kenyan. I'm not sure where 11 is from, but boy, oh boy, that production was insane.
That was a banger.
Insane. And that's the first song that they're releasing. So shout out to them. Supremely talented. Definitely you should release music way more. There was also Hegesa by Hani and Sophia Nzao. Sophia Nzao drops every week, so she is a like she doesn't stop, never. Did I listen to anything else?
No. There's a couple.
Sam, I pass it on to you.
There's a couple of projects I guess I ran through. I wouldn't say I listened to them completely. I probably just gave them like one listen. And number one was a Groovy Affair by Groovy Joe. There was some rapping on there, which was pretty cool. Let me see who else. What was Good Boy? Now I didn't listen to the whole thing because it's a long album by Freddie Njuki, and then it had a couple of features on there. I listened to some of it. Maybe I listened to like the first 3 or 4 songs. I'll go and finish it, but that's cool. I Was Born by Oka Harry. That was cool. Also, that one I skimmed through the whole project, but I didn't really like sit with it. There's a lot of music, and our recording time is so sometimes we just have to highlight them. We can't give like an in-depth view. An in-depth review into everything. Sometimes you just highlight them. So yeah, man, a whole bunch of more music. K-Rob released Shinyanga with JT Bulinda and Ray Don Drip. So that was also cool. I'm always here for highlighting producer artists. And yeah, man, a lot more. Listen, there's music out there. Please go listen to it. Support KE, play KE, and all that. Afam, do you want to talk about our pick?
Yes, sir. That's what actually I was gonna allude to. So I feel like our song pick this week should be ScarFace by laika.
Yeah.
Now, there were very many songs this week that
we
could have made
the cut.
Could have made the cut,
Yeah.
but hey, somebody has to win it. So, shout out to laika. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't listened to too much of her music, but listening to ScarFace was just a really eye-opening experience, and I was like, yo, I'm slacking, because her vocals were amazing. And back to our conversation of good music, it's also about how it's packaged, because I went to her Instagram and I saw her whole branding thing with the mask and everything, and it made me wonder, who is this artist? Like, who are they, and what's the story behind the mask? Like, it made me question so many things, and it made me like way more invested even in the music. So that's another thing, packaging. But I love the song. Sam,
it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty jazzy.
Very jazzy.
Yeah.
Very jazzy.
Oh, do you want me to introduce?
Wait, anything else about this song?
No.
I was just here waiting expectantly for you to say things.
I'm like, wait, I thought you were going to. No, nothing else. I mean,
no, I'm done.
We could talk about it,
done.
or we could let it play. So, I guess we could just let it play. ScarFace.
Hey, let the music do the talking. Okay, I see you.
So, yeah. So, this week we're doing ScarFace by laika.
There's about 1,000 things I could say. Lots I could change, but I guess it's too late. I wrote this letter to you just to say I made mistakes, hope that you're not afraid. Afraid of love. 'Cause after it all, oh, our love is all that we got. Hope that you're not afraid of love. 'Cause after it all, love is all that we've got. We took our chances, it looks like we lost. But how can I lose what's inside of my heart? They can take you, but can't take it all. Made our mistakes, and I think I have learned. I'll be okay with just you in my heart. They can have you, but can't have it all. When I put this pen down, I hope you do not frown. I'll pray every day that you are not afraid of love. 'Cause after it all, baby, your love is all that we've got. Hope that you're not afraid of love. 'Cause after it all, love is all that we've got. We took our chances, it looks like we lost. But how can I lose what's inside of my heart? They can take you, but can't take it all. Made our mistakes, and I think I have learned. I'll be okay with just you in my heart. They can have you, they can't have it all. They can't have it all.
Yeah, that was the jazzy, smooth sounds of Laika with ScarFace, produced by who? And this guy has produced most of her music, if I'm not wrong. Waka. I don't know whether he's based here or not.
Zamina,
No. That wasn't necessary. That wasn't
this time
necessary.
for Africa.
That wasn't necessary.
Zamina.
Oh, jeez.
Join me.
I
Waka,
will not be joining you.
join me,
No.
guys.
No one is joining you.
Zankalewa. I'm holding the mic to you guys to finish.
All right, that was
Somebody out there finished the line, and I respect you. And if you did, please comment in the podcast somewhere. Just comment
what
that
you're
you
doing.
finished.
Look what you're doing now. You're comment
please,
fishing.
I want to know that somebody listens to me out there. Please.
You just want
Let
to
me feel
identify
like
that
I'm
someone
worth-
identifies
I'm
with your
worth
corniness.
something.
No, man.
Yes.
No, people are cool out there. We're all cool. Anyway, we love you the way you are, Afam. That's episode 50. 50, bro.
Oh, hold on. I have to tell people about the 3 C's. Hey, listen. If you're new,
I was
on
going to
this
pass
podcast,
it on to you to do your 3 C's, and now you're interrupting me to do the
Oh
thing
man,
I
thought
was
you were
passing
about
you.
to sign out, guys. Listen,
you don't trust
95
me.
episodes in, and we still have poor communication, guys. What's happening?
No, we don't. We have great communication.
But that was from me. That was from me.
No,
That was from me. I completely misread what.
No,
you were
yeah.
doing.
I guess go ahead with your C's, please. That rhymed.
All right. If you're new to this podcast, I usually throw in some 3 C's that I think are very useful, especially if you're in the creative industries. Really, it should be 4 C's. Anyway, the first C is confidence. You need to be confident in your art. You need to exude that aura that, my music, my art is what you guys need to be listening to, because ultimately that's what's going to convince people to listen to your art. Consistency. You need to be consistent. I'm not telling you to release music every week. I'm not telling you to release music every 2 weeks. But if you decide you want to release music every month, or every 2 months, or every 3 months, do that consistently and stick to it. Because there's so many people releasing music in today's age, and you will get lost in the tons of data if you slack. So release music consistently. And lastly, craft. Always work on your craft. Every day do something small. Read up on new trends in music. What's the new 808 patterns that people are doing?
What are the sheep listening
study
to?
that on a song. Yeah, exactly. Don't read about 808s. Reading about 808s must be something else. Anyway, always work on your craft every day, something small, even if you only have time to spend 5 minutes.
Facts.
Even just 5 minutes, that could go a long way. Okay, I'm done. Sam?
Yeah. So just before we wrap it up, so this week I 2 things crossed my mind. Number one is a lot of the times we say that we want some, like for an artist, like this, especially when you get into it, you just really want to succeed and you want to go far. But a lot of people are not ready to do everything that it takes. And by everything, I don't mean what we're talking about in the beginning of today's pod. I mean, by do what it takes, the work that is required to get into it. Don't quit until you have exhausted all options. And that sort of plays into the second thing, which I was thinking about, where there's a lot of people who say that, if it's meant for me, it will happen. Like, I'm just going to sit around. I'm just going to, coast through life. And if this music thing is meant for me, then it's going to come. That's not generally how life works. Usually, life gives you what you give it. So the amount of work as an artist that you put in constantly, like Afam with the 3 C's, constantly doing everything you can to be on the offensive with your music career, be on the offensive with whatever your art. Doesn't just have to be music, but then just constantly push and see how far you can go, and then exhaust all your options. That's the best way to grow. Don't sit down saying it's the whole mythical. If it's for me, it will happen when the stars align. That's cool, but you would realize really quickly that the stars don't really align with that mentality. So, yeah, man, go out there and take the world. Yep.
Take the world. And on that note, guys, grab the world by the scruff of its neck.
I thought you were going to say
go out
something
there
else.
and be great. Oh yeah, I actually was
Thank God you
very
censored
close,
yourself,
but I
man.
censored myself.
Episode 96, man. See you guys in episode 97.
We out.
Bye.